Okay, so this is our friend's homestead here. So he's got a little RV, he's got a little screen and patio there that he built. And then here's what's really cool is he's got this grass that's on the outside, basically like a bullseye. He's created a nest that, if you think of it in kind of like as a bullseye, where in the middle you've got the tree that you're trying to grow, which in this situation, it's a black sapote. And then around it, what you've got, typically the second layer inside, just around the tree, is yucca. But there's no yucca on this one, but I'll show you an example of where there is. And the thinking is that, you know, you're trying to mimic what's naturally happening in the forest, where you've got, you know, very high, you know, biomass grasses growing on the outside. Then you've got a shrub or a bush, and then you've got another very heavy root tree, which would be the yucca tree on the inside, that is supporting the main tree on the inside, which in this, like I said, it's a black sapote. But in this situation here, so here you can see it better. Here's the grass, here's the pigeon pea on the further in, and then you've got the yucca that's a little brittle, can break very easily, and then that's supporting, but it's got a lot of biomass that builds up really quickly. It roots very quickly, and then those roots will support the support tree, which in this situation, in this instance, is a banana tree. So he's got these spaced about every, I don't know, probably about 20 feet away from each other. And then in between here, once these nests grow up, he's got a breadfruit out there. Once these nests grow up, in the middle here, he's gonna put another like the main tree, like a eucalyptus tree, not a oak, but like a eucalyptus tree or something like that, a magnolia tree, to mimic, again, what you would see in a forest. Now, he's done the same thing out here in a field on a larger scale. He's got the grasses in the middle to support the banana trees that he's spaced here probably every like 20 feet or so. And then in between the bananas, it looks like he's got pigeon pea, and he's also got yucca every 5 feet. So that's how he's got his situation going here. Now we're actually, what we're doing is we're spreading the the mulch over here. Here's Tatiana and the crew spreading the mulch in order to build the biomass so that you can have the grasses grow much thicker. And so here, what he did over here, which is interesting, is he just threw a bunch of pigeon pea, and you can see it's the same concept where you've got a nest of trees, biomass that's grown rapidly. In this situation, probably like 2 months. And all he's done is just scattered a bunch of seed. Now he's got the opportunity to grow in the middle of this. He's got a little nursery to help support these trees that really wouldn't do well in open sunlight in the beginning. So he's got these trees around it supporting with both light protection, and then also eventually, when the biomass gets enough, with chop and drop. You would chop these nitrogen fixing pigeon peas and put them at the base to fertilize these trees in the middle. And what happens is when these roots are connected, because these roots are so close to each other, they're all connected. And so what's happening is when you stress these trees that are around the trees in the middle, what happens is a liquid fertilizer is exuded from these trees that are around it, like the pigeon peas, and that actually causes a pulse of growth to happen periodically. So it's almost like a heartbeat that ends up happening, where and you're in control of it to basically send a pulse of energy and a pulse of life. You're not killing these trees when you cut them. You're just chopping them, and then you're dropping the tips in order to give fertilizer at the base, and then also under the ground with the roots. So that's how it works. And it's a great concept. And what do you think, Tot? Good work? All right. She's learning, she's doing. So that's what we learned here today. And what he's eventually going to do with these grasses in the middle is he'll come through with this big lawnmower and he'll chop the grasses, and then he'll take all of that biomass and feed the rows of bananas and yucca and all the rows here that he's got. So this is a very high output way and a very efficient way to do the same thing that he's doing here with these nests, but do it in a field. So it's really, really efficient and really cool to see how far he's come in less than probably 2 or 3 months, and the growth that he's gotten. Because we're doing the same thing on our property, but we've got the anchor trees, but we have not really properly supported them with the grasses and the pigeon pea and the yucca, which we can do a much better job of, and we'll get much better output as a result because of that chop and drop, the fertilizer on top of the ground, and then also the fertilizer that's exuded in the soil through the roots. All right. Hope this helps.